Once upon a time, in a village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling lake, lived a young boy named Kofi. Now Kofi had a secret, a magical gift. He could ride and shape clouds. Yep, you heard that right. Clouds were his trusty steeds, and the sky, his boundless playground. You see, Kofi would take on the form of different clouds. Sometimes he'd be a fluffy white cloud, so light and airy that he'd float like a feather in the wind. Other times he'd turn into a dark, brooding thundercloud, booming and rattling with powerful claps of thunder. And when rain fell from his cloud form, it was said that the very earth drank it in with a sigh of contentment. Now you might think having such power would make Kofi cocky, and you'd be right. At first, Kofi loved showing off his powers to the villagers. "Look at me," he'd say with a grin as he shaped a cloud into the image of a bird or a whimsical creature. The villagers, though, didn't share his enthusiasm. They couldn't see the fun in a bitty boy making shapes in the clouds. And to be honest, they were a little scared of him too. I mean, who wouldn't be a bit intimidated by a kid who could control the weather? One day, Kofi decided to play a trick on the villagers. He turned into a cloud and blocked the sun, plunging the village into darkness. Then he let loose a torrential downpour, flooding the streets. The villagers, drenched and miserable, ran for cover. That's when Kofi realized that being powerful didn't mean being respected. In fact, it made him rather lonely. As the days passed, Kofi kept his powers a secret. He didn't want to be feared or envied. But then one day the sky became heavy with smoke. A wildfire was raging on the outskirts of the village, and the wind was blowing it right towards the homes of the villagers. Without thinking, Kofi took off into the sky. He turned into a giant cloud, blocking the sun and the wind, and guided the fire away from the village. When the villagers saw what he had done, their fear turned to gratitude. They understood that while they couldn't see the fun in his powers, he still used them to help others. From that day on, Kofi was no longer the lonely cloud boy. He was Kofi the Cloud Rider, a hero to the villagers and a reminder to all that true power is not about showing off, but about helping others. The end. Little Legends Library.